Moving on, let's now talk about reformation of instruments, or basically reformation of contracts. Kasi minsan may mga nagkakamali sa pakikipagkontrata. Nare-realize na lang nila na nagkamali ako, sorry doon sa ginawa natin na, lalo na kung written, no? Doon sa ginawa natin na written contract, I want to change it. I want to revise or amend it para ma-reflect yung tunay na pinag-usapan natin. Okay? That's hence the term reformation. Therefore, reformation is a remedy to conform to the real intention of the parties due to, yun nga, nag-mistake, kaya kailangang i-correct, or merong nangyaring panloloko, fraud, inequitable conduct, may ginawa yung ibang partido na nakasira sa pagiging patas ng dalawang partido sa usapan, or by accident. May mga nangyaring hindi inaasahan noong sila ay nag-uusap at gumawa ng kanilang agreement. Therefore, hindi na-reflect yung tunay nila na intention. And again, the remedy is they reform the contract in order to bring out the real intention in the contract. Further, reformation is a remedy in equity para maging patas at both parties in the contract will stand in equal footing, by means of which a written instrument is made or construed so as to express or confirm the real intention of the parties when some error or mistake is committed. What's the purpose or rationale for this rule on reformation? Because it would be unjust and inequitable or unfair to allow the enforcement of a written instrument which does not reflect or disclose the real meeting of the minds of the parties. Tama naman, no? Kaya nga sila gumawa ng kasulatan para ma-record nila yung tunay nila na intensyon. Kaya useless yung papel na yun kung hindi rin naman yun yung gusto nilang mangyari. Therefore, kailangan na magkaroon ng remedy to correct that error by means of this remedy which we call reformation. So what are the requisites or requirements in reformation of instruments? They are as follows. There must really be a meeting of the minds of the contract. The true intention is not expressed in the instrument. Okay? Talagang meron silang consent doon sa contract. Yun nga lang, kung babasahin mo yung contract, hindi nakalagay yung tunay na intention nila, kung ano yung talagang pinag-uusapan nila sa kontrata. So what's the reason? It can be any of these only: mistake, accident, relative simulation, fraud, inequitable conduct. And hindi basta-basta na sabihin mo nag-mistake ka, na mayroong fraud. There must be strong, clear, and convincing proof of any of the reasons. Patunayan mo strongly, clearly, and convincingly na mayroong mistake, o accident, o relative simulation, o fraud, o inequitable conduct. And this is a case-to-case basis. It's up to the court to decide if the party saying that there is mistake, accident, etc. has been able to strongly, clearly, and convincingly proven to the court na meron nga talaga. Now, don't be confused with reformation and annulment. Okay, we have reformation of contracts as a remedy, and we also have another remedy which we call annulment of contracts. Ito po yung pinagkaiba nila. In reformation, there is meeting of the minds. Talagang merong consent yung dalawang party regarding the object and cause of the contract. But in annulment of contract, wala po. There is no consent. Why? Maybe because there is a vitiation of consent. You remember the previous lessons, how consent is vitiated? May mga panloloko, may mga mistake of facts, kaya nag-agree yung tao. Since wala siyang wala talaga siyang consent doon sa contract na yon, the remedy is annulment, hindi reformation. Next point of comparison, in reformation, the instrument just failed to express the true intention. Okay? But in annulment, the meeting of the minds was prevented by reason of, again, mistake, fraud, inequitable conduct, etc. Okay? To clarify, in reformation, there is really an intention to enter into the agreement. Yun nga lang, hindi mababasa doon sa written instrument. It's missing. Or there is a mistake, kaya hindi na ipakita, hindi mo ma-determine kung ano yung intention na yon. But in annulment, wala talagang intention to enter into that contract. Why? Kasi nga in the first place, hindi naman talaga siya nagbigay ng tunay na consent. Kasi vitiated yung kanyang consent. Next, according to the purpose naman, the purpose of reformation is to establish the true agreement. Okay? Hindi i-cancel yung contract. I-clarify lang kung ano yung tunay nila na intention at agreement. But in annulment, the purpose po is to cancel entirely the contract. Talagang mawawala na yung contract na yun. Mawawala na yung usapan na yun. It will just become a piece of scrap paper. What's the reason? Because it is inefficacious. Meaning to say, the parties did not really entered into any kind of agreement. Kasi nga, in the first place, kulang yung elements ng contract. Walang consent because there is vitiation of consent. By reason of yung mga vices of consent na sana ay naaalala nyo pa. Okay? That's the difference between reformation and annulment of contract. In addition, take note of this. When there is no meeting of the minds, meaning to say walang consent, the proper remedy is annulment, not reformation. The fundamental distinction between reformation and annulment is that reformation presupposes a perfectly valid contract in which there has been a valid meeting of the minds or valid consent between the parties. But in annulment, it is based on a defective contract in which there has been no meeting of the minds, no consent at all, because the consent has been vitiated. Alright? What is the operation and effect of reformation? Reformation relates back to and takes effect from the time of its original execution, especially as between the parties. Reformation may be availed of judicially or extrajudicially. Okay? So, nabago na yung contract. For example, the contract was entered into on June 1, 2024 at nagkaroon ng reformation, na-revise yung contract para makorek at malumabas yung true intention ng mga parties. Kailan ulit yung considered na effectivity date ng contract? Still on June 1, 2024. The same day it was entered into. Regardless man kung June 30 na nangyari yung reformation, still June 1 yung effectivity date ng contract. At paano ginagawa yung reformation? Kailangan ba lagi na nasa court magpatulong kay judge? Hindi naman. Pwede rin po extrajudicially. As long as hindi nag-aaway yung dalawang partido, they can just go and ask for help from a lawyer. At sa harap ni lawyer, doon sila mag-usap. Gagawa ulit sila ng bagong version ng contract. At in that new contract, sasabihin nila na meron silang ginawa noon and this new contract is just meant to correct the previous contract. Hence, they are doing what you call reformation of contract or instrument. What is the basis and nature of the remedy of reformation? It's based on the principle of equity. Okay? Pagiging patas. To express the true intention of the contracting parties, an instrument is allowed by law to be reformed. Okay, basahin natin. The right of reformation is necessarily an invasion or limitation of the parole evidence rule. Because under the rules on evidence, whatever daw na nakasulat sa isang kontrata, yun na raw yung final na usapan ng dalawang partido. At hindi na pwedeng dagdagan. Kasi hindi nila ipapapel yun kung hindi nila intention na yun yung kanilang usapan. Pero, for purposes of equity, pagiging patas, inaalaw ng batas ang reformation in order to avoid that situation na hindi mapatunayan ng dalawang partido o one of them lang yung tunay nila na agreement. The remedy, being an extraordinary one, must be subject to the limitations as may be provided by law. Kung ano lang yung sinasabi ng law na, for example, yung reason, okay, yung Murphy kanina na causes para mapatunayan mo na pwede kang magpa-reform, yun lang yun. Huwag mo nang dagdagan because it is limited, being an extraordinary remedy. A suit for reformation of an instrument must be brought within the period prescribed by law. Otherwise, it will be barred by the mere lapse of time. Again, the law hates people who sleeps on their rights. Remember that. Reformation of instruments, kailan po pwede? Okay, ito na po, isa-isahin na nating pag-usapan yung Murphy, yung specific reasons para po ma-avail natin itong reformation of contracts. Mistake. Okay, let's start with mistake. First, mutual mistake. The mutual mistake of the parties causes the failure of the instrument to disclose their true agreement. Parehas sila na nag-mistake. The two parties involved in the contract. Requirements, patunayan dapat na the mistake is all about facts, not the interpretation of law, but on matters of facts na important sa usapan nila. The same should be proved by clear and convincing evidence, and the mistake should be common to both parties. Okay? It should really be common to both of them para matawag natin na mutual mistake. Second, mistake on one party. Nag-mistake yung isa at meron namang ginawang kabalastugan yung isa. Fraud on the other. In this situation, the instrument does not show their true intention. The party mistaken or defrauded may ask for the reformation of the instrument. Kung talaga namang gustong-gusto pa rin nung other party na magtuloy yung usapan kahit alam niya na naloko na siya, pwede pa rin niyang i-avail itong reformation as a remedy para lumabas doon sa instrument o doon sa written agreement nila yung tunay nila na intention. That's why they entered into the contract. Next, mistake on one party and concealment. Merong tinago yung ibang partido. Meron siyang hindi ni-reveal. So when one party was mistaken and the other knew, alam niya, or believed, naniniwala siya, that the instrument did not state the real agreement but concealed that fact from the former. Okay? So, for example, nalaman nung ibang partido na yung lupa pala na kanilang pinag-agrihan na ibenta ay meron palang kasalukuyan farmers na nangungupa. And these farmers are protected by the agrarian law. Okay? Pwede nilang ipa-reform yung kontrata in order to reflect on the real intention of the seller as well as the buyer. Ngayon na alam na nila na meron palang involved na mga farmers na kasalukuyang nagre-renta doon sa lupa. Next, ignorance, lack of skill, negligence, or bad faith. Okay? When through the ignorance, lack of skill, negligence, or bad faith on the part of the person who drafted yung primary party na nagsulat ng kontrata, the instrument does not express the true intention of the parties. So, what's the remedy? Again, reformation. You explain to the party who is ignorant or who has bad faith, you tell him let's reform our contract, and this time, let us disclose the bad faith we did. Let us explain to each other the do's and don'ts na hindi natin alam noong una para lumabas sa bagong kontrata yung gusto natin talaga na mangyari. That's it. Right of repurchase. If the parties agreed upon the mortgage or pledge of real or personal property, but the instrument states that the property is sold absolutely or with a right of repurchase. Okay? Minsan, yung mga nagbebentahan at bumibili ng lupa, itong si seller, which most of the time, napipilitan lang kasi sila na ibenta yung lupa kasi currently, kailangan nila ng pera. Kailangan nila ng mabilis na income para may gastusin doon sa urgent needs nila. Kaya napipilitan sila na ibenta yung lupa. But, even though ibebenta yung lupa, gusto ni seller na mabigyan siya ng time para i-buy back. Bilhin niya pabalik yung lupa at babalik ulit sa kanya. Yun yung tinatawag na right of repurchase. Minsan, kapag dinadraft na yung contract of sale or deed of absolute sale, nalilimutan nung mga party na meron pala silang ganoon na agreement. Lalong-lalo na kung mga lawyers yung nagdraft at hindi sila na-inform nung mga clients na lalagyan ng right of repurchase. So, kung nagkataon na yung deed of absolute sale ay walang nakalagay na right of repurchase, pwede pa rin pong ipa-reform yon. Okay? Magpapagawa ng bagong deed of absolute sale. This time, i-insert na yung right of repurchase na hiningi ni seller noong sila ay nag-uusap ni buyer. Okay? Kailan naman po hindi pwede, hindi allowed ang reformation? Pinagbabawal po kung meron itong mga circumstances na to. When the contract is a simple unconditional donation inter vivos. Okay, mga simple donations. Wills, last will and testament, bawal ang reformation. Meron kasing ibang procedure for that. And that is covered by the law on succession. When the agreement is void, of course, kung void yung agreement, especially if it is contrary to morals, public order, public policy, there is nothing to reform. Okay? You cannot fix something that is illegal in the first place. When an action to enforce the instrument is filed by reason of estoppel, if mistake, fraud, inequitable conduct, or accident has prevented a meeting of the minds of the parties, okay, this time papasok si annulment na, not reformation anymore. And lastly, when the contract is unenforceable because of failure to comply with the statute of frauds. Okay? For example, usapan sa bentahan ng lupa na kailangan po ay nakalagay sa papel as provided by the statute of frauds. If wala namang sinulat na agreement, walang written agreement in the first place, hindi po yun pwedeng ipa-reform. What's the prescriptive period? Ito po yung time limit para makapag-file ng reformation or para magamit yung reformation remedy. 10 years. Kailan bibilangin yung 10 years? From the date of execution of the instrument. So for example, the deed of absolute sale was entered into June 1, 2024. So start from June 1, 2024 the counting of 10 years. So pagpasok po ng June 2, 2034, wala na po yung, hindi mo na maa-avail yung reformation remedy because it already lapsed. Okay? So you must know when to use this remedy, reformation, because I repeat, the law hates people who sleeps on their rights. Who may ask for the reformation? Sino lang yung mga pwedeng mag-ask o gumamit ng remedy na ito? It may be ordered at the instance of either party to the contract, if that's a contract of sale, either the buyer or the seller, or his successors in interest. Yung mga heirs nila, for example, yung mga tagapagmana nila. Okay, provided the mistake is mutual. Next, upon petition of the injured party. Anyone who is injured under the contract, hindi man sila party but they are affected by the contract negatively, pwede po silang magpa-reform. And his heirs and assigns, mga tagapagmana o mga pinag-assignan nila ng right nila under the contract. Take note, in reformation of contracts, what is reformed is not the contract itself. Okay? Hindi mababago yung usapan nila, yung agreement nila. Ang mababago lang ay yung mga content doon sa sinulat nila na written contract para lumabas yung tunay nila na agreement. Okay? The agreement will not be changed. It's just the content of the instrument that will be changed in order to bring out the true agreement of the parties to the contract.